It's time for part 3 of July 20th's Mostly Walking. And Sean Bouchard,
Yeah.
number
Yes.
one Sean NA. A very... Not now, I'm being sweet. No, not right now. What could you possibly want? You're a cat. Sean,
Hey,
tell me a
Sean.
little bit... What, no, Bill. Wait, Bill.
Hey, Sean.
Just
Wait.
chill.
Bill? Not now, Bill. Bill, I know... Bill. Now, Sean, I have a question.
Yes. Okay. Please ask your question.
Okay, hold on. This cat is really belligerent and really upset until I put her in the box! And she thinks she's actually just gonna lie down for a little bit. Look at that! I'm so glad the doctor prescribed a box. Sean, what do you think of the story thus far? Oh shit, I lost audio. This is a disaster, man. Oh god, the cat's playing with the audio cables. They're like really loose right now. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Go to the box.
Go back to the box.
What do you think? What do you think about the story thus far?
Well, okay. So I think that there's a fundamental structural problem with the story. That has to do with the very, very clever device of switching the characters.
Yeah.
And this is clever on all sorts of levels, right? Like it's clever just in that, it's high level accessible. Like you can describe it. You can say like, well, so you play through half the game and then the characters switch places and there's this cool moment where it happens.
Right.
That seems very clever. It's also really clever in the sense that like we get to reuse locations and mechanics that were established in the first part of the game, and now instead of having to introduce brand new places, we can reuse some of our assets. We can reuse a lot of characters and a lot of voice actors, and we can sort of build on established patterns in order to create more interesting puzzles. Super clever idea. Fundamental problem with it is that when you structure your story to sort of leave, like to have these cliffhanger questions at the end of part 1, your characters fundamentally can't seek the answers that the player wants to find out. And so the story creates this artificial disconnect between the player and the character that they're playing, which is not what you want typically in a game, especially like this game is going for resonance between the player and the character. You want to inhabit that character for the duration of the time that you're playing them. You sort of want to share in their experience, and the game wants you to share in that experience. And because Shay doesn't know what the hell is going on out here, but we do, and we can't express our own knowledge and our own questions through Shay because narratively it doesn't make any sense. I lose my connection to him, and the same with Vela. I no longer feel connected to Vela, which is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that, not only is this the most disruptive moment that both these characters have had in their entire lives,
yeah,
they seem pretty much fine with it.
There's super weirdness around, I was a little put off in Act 1 by how Vela, who came from this little village that seemed to have very low technology and an economy that was 100% focused on baking.
It was actually cupcakes, because it was a cupcake-focused economy.
Yeah, it was a cupcake economy. She seemed totally unfazed by, holograms and high-tech wizardry and I even pseudo magical things like cloud boots and whatnot, and I mean, that bothered me a little bit, trying to understand what is her background, that she doesn't ask questions about these things. She doesn't appear surprised or intrigued or curious. about any of this. She just sort of like, whatever. But that has become like exponentially more of a problem.
Now, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, what do you think about the storyline we've dealt with thus far?
There's a lot of story. They took too many plots. They flipped them, and it's kind of bullshit. I think I agree with Sean because I'm just saying what you're saying because we can't talk to anybody. We can't ask any questions anymore that we want to ask. It's impossible. There's no way. And why isn't he wondering about his dad? Why is he standing here looking like this? What the hell?
I mean, like that plot twist of my parents who were computers, which was like, that was a really interesting piece of world building, right? I mean, I felt like that was part of the heart of, I'm being reminded of how sort of Vela's storyline I always found kind of problematic and had trouble relating to, but Shay's storyline was great in Act 1. I loved Shay's storyline. And part of what was really intriguing about it was like this kid being raised by computers on a spaceship and feeling trapped there, and like this, at once very relatable feeling of being like coddled through adolescence, but at the same time it's in this like weird, hyperfiction, and then to have that turn into like, oh no, he really had parents, and
they were in another room.
They were just in another room, and like he forgot for a while that he had parents, but there's no explanation for like why that would be, or
like if they had said he doesn't actually have parents, period. It was just computer programs. I would find that way more compelling.
That'd be super
100%.
way better.
Well, and that seemed like where it was going in Act 1. Like, I found that really super intriguing. And then, it's not that, like, these story twists can't be interesting in their own right. The idea of, like, somebody who is brought up by computers who are really being puppeteered by people who care about him behind the scenes, and he doesn't know it, and they have some reason for doing that, like, that's a super interesting story, right? Like, I can see a Moon-like story about that would be, I would totally watch that. But it turns out, like, they didn't have a reason, and they didn't even realize that he thought they were computers, and he knew that they weren't computers, but he sort of, like, just never mentioned it, and I don't understand. None of it makes any sense. They don't behave like human beings. That's my problem with it, right? None of the characters in Act 2 have behaved even remotely like human beings.
Now, here's what I think.
Yeah.
My suspension of disbelief is a Class 5 mutant. It is one of the most powerful forces the world has ever known.
It's true.
So right now, for me, I'm just like...
Okay, see you later.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
That's not what I'm like.
I'm just like, okay, see you later.
I'm like... What's going on? Like, Fuck, stop unplugging my audio. Hold on, I can't hear anything. I can't hear myself. Alright, I can hear myself. I want to know what occurs.
So, what else does your ship need to fly?
Let me see here. Still need an electronics genius, and still need your dad to patch the holes in the hull. What else? I still need a radiation suit. Haven't found a superconductive gyroscopic hypercam yet. And
5 things seems like a lot.
Antigravity thrust unit.
Right?
Once
That's
we
what I'm
take care of
saying.
that, we'll be ready to fly.
Like if someone asked me, "Hey Sean, I need you to do these things." Once they hit 3, I'm like, "That's all you're gonna get out of me."
Who do you think has been looting your ship?
Actually, I suspect the guards outside. Something about their outfits.
Did the character in the game just get a text?
Walked off the job, eh? Man, 100 years ago, people were a lot more professional, I'll tell you what.
What was it about
No,
your
no,
outfits
no, no, no,
that made you
But
suspicious?
their outfits were
Did they
like
look like they were
cloaks
hiding
that
meat
covered their
underneath?
entire bodies.
No, it was the way they were made.
That's 'cause
from the
their
same
heads are made out of
material
ship
as my
parts.
radiation shielding glass curtain.
Oh, okay. So we need to find those cultist people and steal their clothes.
Yes.
We also need to find an electronics expert who I'm just gonna say no, actually I don't know who that is. And then we need a bunch of other stuff. I can't keep track of the other stuff.
Huh, what do I need to get my ship launched off? I need an electronics expert. Some adolescent girls' clothing. I'm gonna need a crown you can pick up at Claire's. Probably a snake.
I need your dad to do some chores for me.
Yeah.
So
Gonna need a hell of a lot of
what-
inventory, is what I'm
I
saying.
need an electrical genius who can get into small spaces, knows how to solder, and who can memorize circuit boards at a glance.
Sounds like a monkey.
Yeah, that's not me. I'll find somebody.
It sounds like a
See you
monkey.
later.
Okay.
I'm gonna need
A
some
wee
young
monkey.
girls' clothes. Will Wheaton.
I'm going to need a very small individual with thin, gangly arms. And then I'm going to need a sort of fake cupcake dress.
Strange.
I'm gonna need a peach
But I feel like
eclair.
I've seen this pyramid before, and I don't just mean.
You know, when you've seen one pyramid, you've seen them all.
I mean, like in a dream, almost.
Almost a dream.
What do you even mean by that?
Oh,
I don't
shit.
know what you mean.
It's really gone.
Solid
What if
gone.
Alex drew the schematic for a superconductive gyroscopic hypercube?
Father!
Dad?
Son,
Dad. Offspring. Dad.
At least now we have a plan, right, Dad?
well, half of one at least. If
Half
our
of
ship's
us.
headed to Loruna on autopilot, and if we can fix Alex's ship and hitch a ride there with him, then all we have to figure out is
What to do when we get there.
And why?
right.
If I can get a ride to dinner, and I have enough money to buy it, all I have to figure out is what I'm gonna say to her on the date. Who should I be then? I don't know. I think we need a vat of adhesive.
What's cooking?
What?
Found some
Really?
fermented biomatter here. Perfect enzymatic base for my patented hole patch formula. Only problem is,
It's
I can't
adhesive.
add the bonding agent until I know I have the pH balanced perfectly.
Just for
Or
you.
the whole batch will be ruined.
Don't worry, Dad. This sort of shit is pretty basic. Oh! pH greater than 7!
Oh.
How's the whole pouch coming?
Great. Except I can't add the final ingredient until I know I have the pH balanced correctly.
For a woman.
Oh, I know. We we have to titrate is what we have to do.
Can't we just do a
Hashtag hella
taste test or
titrate.
something?
My taste buds aren't that sensitive. Also, I put poison in there.
What?
Whoa.
Well, it's usually to keep space parasites from chewing on the patch. Force of habit, I guess.
Space parasites.
How would you change the pH?
How would you change the pH anyway?
I've added all the calcium
vibe.
carbonate I could get my hands on just to lower the acidity and raise the pH to be somewhere in the ballpark. But I need to know it's exactly 7 before I put in the final
7.
ingredient.
7 from heaven.
7 pretty basic.
How'd you get the calcium
Seven's
carbonate?
neutral.
By
Oh, it is?
grinding up every seashell on the beach.
I said basic.
But I fear it's still
I
not
know.
enough.
I didn't know.
Where can I get more
But it's a
calcium
prime
carbonate?
number.
That's a great question.
It is a prime number.
If I could find just
See, that's a
one
good way
more
to like
shell,
save
that
when you
would help.
say something stupid.
Good
you
luck,
can
Dad.
say,
Just say it's a prime number.
just say something else that's true. But
Like relatively obscure.
it has to do with the thing.
Right, yeah.
Are you gonna save the man's life yet, or let him keep going like that?
I'm gonna let him desperately beg for help with a flute-like voice.
A flute-like voice.
Oh man, I finished that whole bottle.
Of shawarma.
Lousy, sadistic. Oops.
Hello.
I've detected an unusual rock formation on the surface.
That's not.
It's called Forerunner.
It's the hardened shell of my sick.
It's tree vomit.
My gut by a banshee in a shredded gown.
You don't say. Never seen one of those before.
Time to talk to the tree.
I heard you talking. You don't need to hide it from me.
Talking to humans hasn't really worked out well for me.
Time to become a friend to him before we make him puke again.
Don't worry. I've seen much weirder stuff than talking trees where I'm from.
Have
so
you?
I'm a weird thing, huh? A freak? Does that make you want to cut me down, huh? Turn me into a stool, I suppose?
No, that's not what I was saying at all.
Do all the trees talk in
I
this
understand why
land?
you're mad.
Are you
In
mad,
one place all your
bro?
life, wanting to see the world.
Kappa Bible thought?
That's not what's making me upset. It's all the murderous humans that cut us down. Being stuck in one spot is
love his
kind of
voice.
The whole tree thing, man. Who wouldn't
Bro,
like
do you
that?
even leave?
Do all trees talk in this
Do
land?
all trees talk in this land?
Maybe
This
take
land.
the time to talk to them before you cut them down, and you'll find out.
I've never cut down a tree in my life.
Really? How'd you get your wood?
Use wood. My mom just knit everything we needed.
Mother!
It's just the sweetest thing I've ever... Wait. What were her knitting needles made of?
Plastic.
Okay.
No.
Do you know anything about fixing spaceships?
Dress.
No, that's a subject that never resonated with me.
Hey, tree
Good one.
pond!
Yeah, tree jokes are the best.
Do you guys know any tree jokes?
I know 0 tree jokes.
No.
I know one kind of.
Okay, tell me.
How do you get a one-armed blonde out of a tree?
Wave.
You wave.
Oh!
Oh!
Blondes.
Yeah.
Am I right?
You are LeMayo. You wave.
Because then she waves back.
Maybe
Please explain it, Bill. Please. Please
And
explain
she
the
was.
joke.
The idea is that you have to be holding on if you're in a tree with your arm.
trying to know if I know any tree jokes. I think I only know a tree story.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's actually a tree story. It's more of a plant life story. So it was from the Darwin Awards. There were these two guys that they bought a 36-pack of beer, and upon investigation of the scene, they had together drank 24 of them. So there was a concert.
So if you carry the one,
If you carry the one, you find out they drank a lot of fucking beer.
Yep.
So they went to a concert, and they wanted to sneak in. So they drove to this fence, and they were going to climb over the fence, drop down, and then come to the side and watch the concert. But what they found... well, actually, they didn't find this. They just sort of wound up with this knowledge. The fence was a 6-foot-tall fence.
Okay.
So they climbed up it, and when they jumped over, it turned out that it was like a 30-foot drop down.
God. Okay.
So,
All
so
right.
the guy who decided to climb over it was naked at the time.
Obviously.
So he climbed over it naked, and when he jumped over, he was shocked to find that it wasn't a 6-foot drop, it was instead a 30-foot drop, and he fell, and the autopsy found that he landed in a bramble.
This is gonna be good.
A bramble bush with a
Nice.
spike of bramble in his rectum when they found the body. So he lands in there, and So he didn't die. He didn't die. His friend, he apparently was trapped down there and was screaming. He was like, oh my god, freaking out, it hurts. And his friend, who was also very drunk at the time, realized it was a 30-foot drop. My friend's trapped, so he throws a rope over for his friend. His friend grabs onto it and hauls it. The friend attaches the rope to the hitch, to the back of the truck.
It's gonna be good.
He gets in the truck,
and
then the truck's in reverse, so he just reverses the truck through the fence onto his friend. And they both died. I love tree jokes. I really like tree jokes a lot. Oh, it's good.
You could say it. I mean, you could say that the. If you had to, you could. I mean, if you had to say something, you could say that the fall was rough.
Do you have to say something?
Really wrecked him.
Tyrannosaurus rectum.
Riddle of the sphincter.
A hole in one. If you don't know what the Darwin Awards are, I'm not going to tell you. That's just the mystery of the day. Let's play the video game.
I gotta make like a tree.
Should we?
And
Is that-
split.
It's supposed to be a banana, but don't worry about it. Tree jokes are hard.
It's true. It's apparently true.
Tree.
Human?
Have you seen a mad-looking girl in a tattered dress?
Oh, please don't mention that demented little urchin to me. It makes me sick to think of how she made me sick.
Why did she make you sick?
Why did she make you sick?
She coveted my sap. I saw her collect it in a bucket. Oh,
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's sap.
Magical hardening
Is that one of the quotes on the back of the
I gotta
box?
make like a leaf and leave.
Okay, kid.
You suck!
That was maybe
Any
my
talking
favorite
trees
joke.
over here?
So,
No? Good.
I will say...
I can hear you.
It's good. I will say, I have lots of problems with the
That's an
story of the
interesting
game,
smell.
but the
So
dialogue in
unfamiliar.
general is pretty good.
Tim
So
Schafer's
good.
hella good at talking.
It's true.
Oh, you got snaked,
Oh, wow.
brah.
This is incredible. A real giant constrictor. My mother never would have allowed this.
You best
That
pump
must have
your.
danger. I was smelling. I hate
Gotta
to do
blow
this
the
to you,
hole.
big guy, but
This is how you deal with constrictors.
That's why they say always bring a brass instrument when in the wild.
I've got
It's
stuff
true.
to do. No time
Wait.
for play right now.
Oh, wait, okay, so the constrictor is super attracted to the, like, deep baritone sound of the horn.
Can you blame him?
Since I have never paid taxes. into
Not
the
really,
government
I
of this
really
land,
can't.
I would
And
feel
then,
guilty using
but
their
the
muscles. There's some sort
whatever
of flyer in
dude, the,
here.
like, mayor,
Hey, this is that
Has
girl
like
that
a
tried to punch me.
Piccolo.
Please contact the Tartine family in Sugar Bunting if you have any information about our beloved daughter. How do I break it to them that their daughter was swallowed by my spaceship?
they'll probably be
Definitely
delighted.
not the part about it being my spaceship, for starters.
I have a flyer.
I want
You have
to
a
tell these
flyer.
people that I've seen their daughter, but I'm not ready to answer all the questions they'll surely have.
I don't even know what to look at my
That's what I do whenever I find out about someone that I know
So-
about who's kidnapped. I don't like to answer questions, so I
That
don't do
I'm,
anything.
that
Sorry,
I'm,
wood shop's
you know, at
closed.
least
No more-
indirectly responsible
Come
for.
back late.
Mhm.
Whoa. Never seen an outfit like that before. Where'd you
Never
get
seen
it?
a Wheaton like Will.
What, so,
Space!
my question is there a way that we can make the mayor's high-pitched kazoo whistling lower pitched in a way that's going to attract some snakes?
I think the
That's-
best way
that's what
is to first take a running punch at the governor, in his gut, and then he will eject the pipes.
It does really seem like we could just, like, give him the Heimlich, right?
Yeah. We could give him the maneuver.
I mean, if we had our spaceship at our disposal, we could run him backwards through the teleporters until his head got so big that
we could reach in and grab it and.
Well, no, because then it would get deeper. His voice would get deeper. His cello, his
you don't want to reveal your source.
Fucking pipette would get mucho engrossed, engorged, and then become lower in pitch.
I got my own thing, so.
Hi, my name's Shay.
Curtis.
Will.
Will.
I'm Will. No one remembers the name Curtis.
Just cooking up a little, heating up one of those things that they serve salsa in.
What are you making there?
Art. Forged from metal.
I like a nice metal
wood,
salsa.
You know, it's getting all trendy. The tree started talking, and there was no money in it, so I got into metal.
I like his shirt that says melt.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
No, it says metal, actually. METL.
Metal.
It says WASD.
I love his WASD.
How long have you been into metal?
Oh, I've been into metal for like ever. But my kid just arrived today, so I've been like hardcore for about 6 hours.
What are you forging?
Well, in fact, you are the lucky one to see my very
first exertion.
Here.
Collectible die-cast miniature.
My first exertion.
That's pretty good.
It's a cat.
It's so cute.
That's so cute.
Cute? Well, the catalog said it was supposed to be a wizard, but it looks more like a kitten reading a book.
It does kind of look like a kitten reading a book.
That looks exactly like a kitten reading a book. Guys, before we do anything else, I gotta ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how professional has this stream been since we started?
10.
17.
So we have some room to lose. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
What are we doing?
Okay. I don't know.
Did he leave?
I think he just took off.
Where is he?
He wants nothing to do with this anymore, Bill.
I mean, at some point, adventure... Oh, Jesus Christ. Everybody on chat says 6.5.
6.5, yep.
How do you feel about adventure games, Sean?
Jesus. I mean... So, how do you feel specifically about the Double Fine adventure game as an effort to recapture the magic of adventure games? I mean, because that's loaded, right? Like that implies a lot about the genre having some kind of unique quality about it, and that having been lost at some point, and that like it's possible to reclaim it in some kind of a significant way. I don't know that any of those assumptions are true.
Do you ever notice that when you play older games, a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, they're just not that good? You used to think that they were good, and then they're not.
I mean, okay, so here's how I'm going to answer that question. In college, I had a friend who got really excited because he found a copy of Transformers on eBay, the original like Transformers cartoon that I probably watched. It wasn't like my real deal, but I watched growing up, and you probably did too. And we watched an episode because he was so excited about it, and it was the most incoherent garbage that I have ever in my life experienced. But
so what I'd ask is, do you think they can reclaim the magic of those old Transformers episodes?
What is the question?
like literally reclaiming the magic of adventure games involves a time machine. I mean, it involves like some kind of return to youth that to,
Oh, that's what they're getting. They're selling us promising us a return to innocence that they cannot deliver on.
And they can't deliver on. And it's unfortunate because I think that's a mistake. I think there is something unique and special about the genre of adventure games, and I think it has to do with the integration of storytelling and mechanics, and like creating an interactive game that is the experience of a world that has sort of been uniquely cultivated and designed. And I don't know that the original adventure games that we hold in such high regard ever managed to do that successfully, but I think it is something that is possible to do, and modern adventure games get closer and closer to doing it. And if there is a downfall to the modern adventure game, it's that it's trying so hard to recapture the past that it doesn't do enough to sort of build on the innovations
to pre-capture the future.
Yeah, you gotta pre-capture. You gotta at least.
You don't want to try so hard to recapture the past that you forget to pre-capture the future.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, you gotta at least cache some of the future so that you cut down on buffering times.
Right. It's true.
Right. I mean.
And then anything in RAM is the present.
Yeah.
I came in at the right time.
I think you did.
You always do.
I'm gonna hit the next button.
You order your molds from a catalog?
Hey, I'm just starting out, okay? It's like, I'm in the cover band phase. I want to do my own material, like, eventually.
Do you have any other molds?
I could only afford this one. The idea was to sell a bunch of wizards to buy more molds, but this stupid cat? I don't know if I'm ever gonna get a new mold.
Damn.
Where does that big ladder go on your roof?
Are wizards inherently better than cats?
They're
like,
more
are they
wizard.
Are they
Not
more
unfortunate,
saleable?
they aren't.
Not sure.
I'm pretty sure that
But I've
cats
got a hunch
are
that
like
Bella has
more
something.
marketable than wizards.
Is Vela a friend of
Maybe
yours?
not in this
Well,
world.
she used to come around
of
here
magic.
a lot. Had a thing for my stools.
Think you could make me a radiation
I
suit?
find Will Wheaton the
Nah, I
hipster
don't do
kind of
soft
charming.
goods.
I have to
If
say.
you're looking for a good seamstress, though, I'd check out Mariloft. They do amazing stuff with feathers. You know, if you're into that kind of thing.
Well, have fun with your metal.
Later, Shader.
Later shader.
Ladder
Your
shatter.
paintings are all ripped up.
Yeah, that was a different me who did that. I'm much more calm now that I'm working with metal.
How did he rip that
Is this
painting?
boarded up for fire safety or something?
Yeah, safety. Never know when an inspector's gonna show up.
I actually do we know the story behind why the fireplace is boarded up?
Yeah,
Because
he
the
didn't
trees
want
were
any
gonna
trees
climb.
to
Looks
come
like
in.
your axe is missing.
I don't use
Oh,
axes
right,
anymore.
got it.
Now I make the axes. Well, I mean I will, once I get the mold.
Axe mold.
Axe
Can you
mold.
take the cat? Can you take the cat?
Great question. Let's investigate.
Home metallurgy kit. Make money without leaving your home.
That's the new plan, man.
Metallurgy.
I'm cashing in, selling out. Just until I get some money saved, of course. You know, then I'm gonna go right back to doing that whole integrity thing.
Oh, that's cutting.
There's a piece missing from this window.
Oh yeah. I lost the sun somehow.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, mother! I can't remember what it was, but it was late one night, and I was just derping around on the internet, and I
Hashtag internet phrases.
yeah I found some terrible anime that I only watched like half of the first episode. That was both like an epic fantasy and a romance and like a space opera. It was like trying to do everything. It also had demons and probably there was a fairy in there at some point.
Sounds like Shadowrun.
Right? And then there was the protagonist at one point was battling against his father. At least he found out he was going to be battling against his father. who was some giant monster at some point who's going like, ha 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 ha, I will destroy you and then take over the world. And the protagonist goes, Father! And literally screams in like the worst dub of all time. So that's something I say a lot now. And I really enjoy that. I stopped and I was like, got what I needed, and I turned it off and went to bed happy.
I didn't realize that's where that story was going. That's
yeah, that's
good.
Surprise! No! Father!
That was a
Pause. I'm going to bed.
Check out these crazy clouds.
What if you could explore all of the same worlds twice?
Okay, for there
Solve the same puzzles twice.
You built a new ladder. You got it attached, just like I asked. Now all you have to do is climb up here and rescue me.
Brother Lightbeard, can you not climb down yourself?
I've told you 1,000,000 times, Father. I've been up here too long. My feet are weak. They're like little teacups. I dare not use them. Now please, Father, stop wasting time.
I can't, Brother Lightbeard. You know
He's afraid of heights.
No, don't cry, whatever you do.
I can't.
Ah, brother.
Oh, I'm gonna go to crying light, friend.
His emotional.
I do feel like you're supposed to talk to him
what's
first,
wrong,
but
big guy?
you literally
Brother
could just climb up
Lightbeard
the ladder and
needs my
rescue
help.
the Jack Black guy.
I have failed him. Also, I don't like being called big.
I'm Shay. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Shay. What's your name?
They used to call me Father, but after this day, they will only call me Coward, or maybe, if I'm lucky, Coward.
Who's Brother
Who's Brother
Lightbird?
Lightbeard?
Our benevolent leader who was stranded on his high cloud when a strange girl broke his ladder.
The other protag.
Tell me more
Why
about
can't you
the
help
strange
Brother
girl.
Lightbeard?
I'm afraid to climb this ladder.
Climb the ladder. You're strong enough.
But I'm not inside.
You should help Brother Lightbeard.
I can't.
What? Why can't... Okay.
Sure you can.
Oh!
On second thought,
Oh!
stay off that ladder, fatty.
I know you're just trying reverse psychology on me, but that's no reason to use the F word.
Any idea why we're able to walk on these clouds?
Wait.
Because the
You
words of
randomly
Harmony
ask him about a
Lightyear
heavy
make
duty
us
anti-gravity thrust unit, and I think that you should do that thing.
Any idea where I can get a heavy-duty anti-gravity thrust unit?
Oh, I'm sure we don't have one of those. Harmony hates anything heavy.
Alright, so talk to Harmony.
Nerd to me.
Tell me more about this strange girl.
She looked so light, but I sensed a heaviness in her heart. Sure enough, when she got on the ladder, it broke. I think Harmony's teachings really could have helped her.
Well, see you later. Don't give up.
Trying to see if there's...
He's gonna give up.
Oh.
You know what he could use is a little bit of a hexapal to cheer him up.
Oh, that would be so great. Just shine some flashlights on his
Will
eyes.
help me rescue Brother Lightbeard?
I'll see what I can do.
Why?
Very light of you. Thank you.
How light of you.
See? Nothing to be afraid of. What's happening?
Darn it. He looked so light.
Help?
A little farther, Father.
It's not
Yeah, but won't...
me.
Hard gold, but he never takes anything 100%, you know?
Birds, the birds of the day.
How does that big cloud stay afloat?
Just like all the other clouds. There's nothing special about my cloud.
Except an anti-gravity device.
Why don't you just climb down?
My legs have atrophied from lack of use.
Wow. How long have you been up there?
Just since this morning. By atrophied, I just mean really, really stiff.
No.
I'm trying to get up there, but I can't reach.
That's such a cutesy.
But couldn't you literally just
phrase to
climb more of the
Why don't
ladder?
you just stay up there?
I need to get back to my cloud house before tea time.
Am
if
I?
the watercress sandwiches stay out too long, the bread gets a tough outer layer. Almost like a new crust, you know? And then Chef has to make new ones. It's just really not fair to him.
Am I not understanding the physics of the situation properly? Couldn't Shay just keep climbing the ladder?
Yeah, I mean, I clicked at the top of it because my expectation is that he would reach it, and now he is still.
Any idea where I can find a heavy-duty anti-gravity thrust unit?
Hey, whoa, what are you implying? I'm naturally buoyant.
I just meant you seem to know a lot about lift.
Please, my lightness comes from within.
Okay, see you later.
The puzzle, as I understand it, is that we can pull his cloud down almost enough, but not quite.
Right. And his cloud, it is implied, is powered by some sort of an anti-gravity thrust unit that we need to get because we have an entire, like, long list of things that we need to do.
But there's, and none of the other clouds require an anti-gravity unit.
No, because the other clouds actually are just clouds, maybe?
And his is particularly anti-gravity-ish.
Right. Because it's higher than the other clouds.
Tis.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Up and away.
But I was just trying to take care of my family.
Your family, Walter? Or yourself?
Oh.
Looks like someone tied this ladder down. There's a note. Guys, quit moving my ladder, please. You're really cheesing me off. Signed, Gus.
Cheesing me off. Nice. Let's take the ladder.
Cheeses are just gone. Well, you did take the ladder.
Let's talk to this bird.
That egg looks like it's having a little trouble hatching. Maybe I should...
Yeah, that seems... When is that ever a good idea?
That's basically how I sleep.
Pretty special.
There's a tree that away, it appears.
That away.
That away.
Take us down.
Oh!
Hey, we need the clothes.
Eat our sweet rewards. Wait. I'm not comfortable with that. Yeah, that's a little... Eat our sacred... How about we just skip that line? Okay. We'll return in time. Let our child rise from its rotten bed. Up from a hidden pit.
No! To the left!
Mind if I take one of these?
Please, spread the word. We might just save some lives here, man.
I missed something. What's going on?
Yeah, he's got some apples that might save some lives, man.
It's a little on the tangy side, to be honest, but you know, the game is always sweetest to the hunter.
Hi, Shiro. Hi, baby.
Oh, is it
what's that
Shiro?
thing?
Do we get to see Shiro the cat? I don't have any cats right now.
Baby, you want to be on camera? Come here.
Bring that
Shiro.
kitty up. Shiro Bouchard.
Shiro is politely declining that request.
Of course.
So, what kind of hunter are you?
I've been trying to get this fruit all day, but I had some issues, and I almost gave up. But I went to the arcade and beat my own high score on 3D Hypercrypt, and I was like, if I can do that, I can do anything! You know?
Of course. Everyone knows video games are good for your self-esteem.
Yeah!
Meta!
Oh, that was so meta.
What's that thing you're sticking in the fruit?
Oh, this little tapper thing? That's so I can skip all the skin and fiber and just drink the juice right away. Juice, you know? That way all the phytonutrients and stuff get in your bloodstream faster. For when you want to get healthy in a big hurry, man.
Hey, can I borrow that little fruit tapper?
Yeah, actually, I've been thinking the acid or something in the fruit is messing with the coating on this thing and giving it a weird taste. You can have it. I'll just squeeze it out natural.
Thanks.
Whoa.
Don't worry. I don't have a cold or anything.
What's the big healthy rush?
Well, recently I was all hung up on my own underlying issues, and I had some time to think. And then this girl hit me. It hit me. I need to turn my life around. Then I got that high score at the arcade, and now here I am, the king of health.
So just to note, the fruit that you now have in your inventory is acidic.
Right. And you can tap that.
So why are you going to turn your life around?
Well, at first, it was because of this girl, McGee. I imagined her cheering me on through each level in 3D Hypercrypt.
Standard.
Then when I reached the end, I realized McGee doesn't care about 3D Hypercrypt.
She doesn't play video games.
No, she thinks the 3D is a gimmick. She only plays the original. But what I'm saying is that the high score, the juicing, it's okay if it's just for me.
Ugh.
I'm not doing this to impress anybody, you know?
That's good.
How?
So how are you going to turn your life around?
Well, like, what's the next step from here? Probably go back to the arcade, you know, look for another sign. Lots of other high scores to beat, man.
Drinking all that juice, don't you have to use the bathroom a lot?
I'll let you in on a little secret. When you live in the clouds, you're never very far from a bathroom.
Oh, there are people down below. I was just down below.
Hey, watch the skies, man.
I'll let you get back to your juice.
Bye.
This is actually how I thought.
They're pretty heavy. I think I'll just take one.
They're lighter if you just carry the juice.
Yeah.
In your belly.
I get it. Juice?
This is what, Sean?
Topper, the hunter guy gave me.
This is how I thought airplane bathrooms worked. I thought there was just... When I was a kid, I assumed that there was just a hole in the plane. When you went to the bathroom and you flushed it, it just dropped it out of the bottom of the plane.
Sure. Why not?
Well,
that makes sense.
It kind of does work that way. I mean, like, it's not just... But they do release it every once in a while, I think.
Do they?
I have read stories about people encountering
poop flying down at 250 miles an hour, like escape velocity, like terminal velocity poop.
See, now that I say this out loud, it makes me question the validity of the things I heard.
That's how the modern day and age works, man. It's just misinformation. Just spread it, and whatever's catchy will become what people think is real.
Maybe this is where people came up with the idea of chemtrails from.
You know, let me actually just save it here since we're almost out of time. You know, interesting thing. Have you seen that thing about the study? Where
the thing about the study.
Where they have the first and the last letter in the word fixed and they rearrange the order in the middle?
Yes, totally.
Apparently it's total crap.
Really?
That there was like no study that proved it. It's just
there's
a thing.
No study. It's just a thing.
It's just a thing that
because it is a thing.
Because yeah, you see the paragraph and you read it and you're like, I can understand that. Therefore, the conclusion of the study must be true. And it turns out that if you have a sufficiently complicated sentence and word structure, it just totally falls apart and the person can't read it.
Wow.
Like imagine the word complications. Imagine that,
imagining that word
jumbled up in between the C and the S. Like the S at the end of complications really is not core to the word. It's just a pluralization.
Yeah.
Well, you'd end up getting a lot of fucking overlap too.
Tons of overlap
with other words.
Yeah, it takes quite a long time for humans to figure it out. But when that thing gets sent around, it has a lot of short things in it, and things that like I saw the original and believed it. And I heard my friend tell me today, and I believed it. And I did not look up anything at all to figure out what was true.
I am literally typing the word complications in like scrambled up, and trying to see if I can read it, and I can't. It just says Kuplikumitinus.
Kuplikumitinus.
Exactly. That's not. I would never.
Are you ready for a marital completeness?
So clearly, it's all bullshit. That's. I mean, there's no other explanation.
Yeah. And so.
Yeah.
And so. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. You'll nail it. Look, it's 9:25. I've had a full bottle of barley wine, and I feel fantastic. I feel so good. I'm gonna need a nap after this. I'm gonna need to go to bed, probably right now. But I guess I'd say that this segment we bounced back and forth between the two, which is not something that we have done in any prior segment. We've been pretty dedicated to sticking with one.
Yeah, we've done. Yeah.
And I think the game's probably better if you just roll with one, because we were right about to get some juicy information on Vela's side, and we said, nah.
I actually felt like we came to sort of a natural lull or not a lull, but like there was a little bit of a sense of resolution on Vela's side. It seemed like a natural place to switch. Yeah. Are you suggesting, Sean, that you think the game plays best when you pick one of the two storylines, play it to completion, and then go and play the other storyline?
Sean, yes.
Okay. I mean, it's interesting. It's super interesting to me, because I think this maybe was the same in Gemini Rue. Correct me if I'm misremembering that, but it seems sort of strange, like not what I would have expected, that in a game that has two storylines that are parallel, that allows you to switch between them, there's really no interaction between them, either in terms of like the plot and characters, or like the characters can't communicate, but even conceptually it doesn't seem like there's any overlap between. Like, there's nothing that makes me want to switch between the two storylines, especially. Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's hard to do, because if you make it feel good to switch back and forth, I assume there would have to be some sort of coinciding epiphany, some sort of coinciding arc to both that would be working by flipping back and forth. And if someone decided to play one character, it would just be like, and maxing it out, and maxing it, it would hit the climax way too fast. So, I mean, I guess I'm sort of fine with that. But I assume that it's when you get stuck,
you
switch to the other one. I mean, we're so bossed that really doesn't happen, that it's a choice for, you and me and you.
You and me and you.
Overall, I feel like
we're really good.
I feel like my evaluation hasn't changed because we are still in sort of an early, young phase.
Because we haven't played any of the game in the
Yes, I know, because we played very little, because we spent a large amount of it talking to Octabill. About Octabill! Yes, hello, I see things on the left and right side, and I can open a can in an aquarium if you give it to me. I can squeeze through any hole, according to something a young elementary school teacher told me. It looks just like you. Octabill, any closing comments?
No! This game is just unbearably long.
Octabill, that's very negative. You shouldn't say that about adventure games. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. He just wants to be close. Sean, any closing thoughts?
I don't think so. I feel like I've expressed all that I can about what we've played. So.
Excellent! In that case, bedtime for day 9. This has been Mostly Walking. I'm Sean Plott.
I'm Octabill.
I'm just Sean Bouchard.
And we'll see you next week for more Broken Age as we quest through the modern adventure game to find out how it has been smoothed out. I'll see you next week with Sean and Bill.